Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. The wind started to blow. It's getting a little bit cold. Who cares?
I am freezing, but yeah, I don't care, mate. I'm not actually all that bothered. United win another cup. We are maybe starting.
It's funny, we've been for 2-3 seasons. We've been here 4 times, lifted 3 trophies.
Won every time.
Not bad, is it?
It's all right, I suppose, isn't it?
We weren't very good today, though, were we?
We was awful, mate. But do you know what I want to make? I want to make a real good point. That perch that Liverpool
For once.
sat on. That perch that Liverpool sat on, that
Have
Fergie
deleted their bio
started. They have deleted the bio, and now Manchester United are clear the biggest, the most successful, the best-looking club in England. Not even close. You can't start mixing it up because they didn't used to include our World Club Championships. I don't think in the way they mashed it up. I mean, we
got more than England.
We had 64 to their 61, but they only counted 40 odd or something like that. But we are now absolutely clear. Liverpool, you're in our shadows. That's where you're staying. You ain't never coming out of it.
Simple. As for the game,
We were
Zlatan wasn't, was he?
Zlatan wasn't, no, but it's not really his fault because I thought in the first half we set up with 4-2-3-1. Pretty happy with that. Thought it was quite adventurous for United. I thought that was the formation that we was going to see us the most successful with. But I think what you have to say is 2 teams in a game of football. We often forget that. Maybe we wasn't as bad as we think, but Southampton played better than we think. And I think their preparation, the training camps that they've had like 5 or 6 times the length of preparation that we've been able to have for this fixture. And I think probably that paid off for them.
We were questioning how that could be a negative thing, it could be a positive thing. It seemed like a positive thing with their performance.
I think you've got to say it was a positive thing for them because defensively they looked sound. They didn't really stop Zlatan doing what Zlatan was doing because when he got on the ball he looked great, but they stopped the supply to Zlatan. I think that's the key thing is because once you've got a target man who's a focal point of the team like Zlatan is, if he's not getting the ball, what's happening? Nothing. And you was forced to go wide and pass it around with not really any penetration. And I asked at half-time if Jose can make it 4-3-3 because defensively at least we was being overrun in the middle, and I thought he switched it up to a 4-3-3, but it didn't actually kind of work. Even though that is what we wanted to see, it didn't really pay off.
Because we were worried about that midfield battle before the game, especially with the likelihood that Carrick was going to be out, and he had to bring him on in the second half.
And I don't think it was because Carrick was poor. I don't think it was because Herrera was poor. I think Pogba was quite poor, to be honest. But Herrera's class, actually. Herrera's defensive abilities was unbelievable. He was just in the nick of time every time. But it just didn't work for us. They was overrun as midfield. I thought they tactically did a bit of a number on us today, and we was fortunate. We was fortunate to go in at half-time ahead. When it got to 2-0, I was thinking just before I did my thing at half-time, I was like, I reckon I don't see United losing it from here now. I don't think they're going to score 3 goals. I do think they are going to score. Didn't expect them to score 2. I thought we would need another goal to win it, which turned out to be right. Zlatan was clinical, and that's what a couple of weeks ago when we said, you know what, he wasn't clinical, he wasn't at the races, but you know what? Tonight, he was at the races and he was clinical. He was both of those things.
Agenda.
A massive agenda. I will take Zlatan having poor games and scoring goals. But when
I don't think he was poor today, though.
No, he wasn't. I'm not saying he was poor.
Yeah,
but
no, I'm just throwing that in so, agendas.
Commenters. But yeah, we know that if Zlatan isn't at the races and he scores goals, I'll take that all day long. But when he isn't at the races, I'm going to say it. And today he was both. He did what he had to do with the limited supply that he got, and he looked great. He was bringing others into the game fantastically, and I thought the substitution towards the end to bring Rashford on was massive because prior to that, and even in the first half, to be honest, the transition from us defending to attacking was so slow. It's painfully slow. We'd go sideways rather than going direct. And when you bring Marcus Rashford on, he's nothing if he's not direct, is he? And even though I don't think Rashford himself managed to do a great deal with the ball, I thought his presence in there occupied a defender, took someone's attention away, and allowed Zlatan to get on the end of it for what was ultimately the winner for United. Happy days.
Before we go on to what this could mean for United for the rest of the season, Jesse Lingard. Every time I say his name I smile because I know that what people kind of portray him as, and I don't think he was playing excellently well today, but he got another crucial goal for Manchester United.
I'm sure
he could have had another one.
I'm sure it's been said. Jesse Lingard loves Wembley, doesn't he? And do you know what? Jesse Lingard gets a lot of unfair stick amongst United support, some elements of United support, and no one thinks he's going to be a Ballon d'Or winner. No one thinks he should probably even start every week for Manchester United. But come with the hour, come with the man, come with the time, come with the place, and Jesse Lingard is sometimes the right shape to be fitting what you need to be doing in a game. And Jesse Lingard today, I thought, was all right. I didn't think he was great. I thought he was all right. But he popped up with his goals, one of the easiest goals he's ever going to score as well. And fair play to the guy. He put another goal away, and without that today, we're in extra time, and we're not really looking like we've got the momentum behind us, and we maybe don't even come away with a win.
What I love is that I know his family would have been in the stands today. Not in the stands in corporate, not in a box. They're in the away ends, they're in the home ends, and I know they would have been in there buzzing today. And that's what, like, Jesse Lingard is one of us. And we need to stick by this lad. He gets so much unwarranted criticism. It's unbelievable. And like I said before, if his name was Jesse Lingardinho, no one would be saying anything. But moving on from that, we've seen under Fergie, Gary Neville's first trophy as captain was a League Cup. Jose Mourinho's first trophy at Chelsea was a League Cup. Could this be something we build on now? Obviously, it's his second piece of silverware, but his first proper trophy.
You'd hope so. You would hope so, but there's no guarantees. A League Cup doesn't guarantee anything except that you're League Cup champions of the world for that year. So I don't think it means that we're going to go and do anything, but it's nice. It's confidence builders. It's all of these little markers that we saw in the early 90s. Now, is Jose Mourinho going to build a dynasty of 26 years and 13 league titles? No. He's not. Let's face it, he's not. He's not got enough time left in his career. I don't think he's got the longevity or the desire to do what Fergie done here, or even the ability. I mean, it's going to take him best part of 20 years to get 10, 12 league titles under his belt. So, is it going to lead to the same thing? I don't think so. Is it going to lead to a successful period for Manchester United? I do think so. I don't think we're winning the league this year. I don't think anyone's deluded enough to think that we're doing that. But I think that we can have a bit of a say in where it goes this year. I think we can be right in and amongst everybody despite our starts of the season, and we can look to it next season. We're going to spend obscene amounts of cash in the summer, and we're going to build on what we've already got, and what we've already got is a team that is starting to win. What was our last loss? Hull, in a tie that didn't really matter.
Our first proper loss was Fenerbahce
for this back in November. That was a long time ago, mate. That was a long time ago. In a season, we've gone half of this season now pretty much unbeaten. Now, yeah, you can say if you lose a couple of games but win the rest instead of picking up draws left, right and centre, then that's going to be more effective. We have drawn a lot. We know we've drawn a lot. And we've been very, very unfortunate in those draws. But what we're showing is a machine starting to form. Jose Mourinho's Manchester United machine is really starting to click into gear. And we're not perfect. We have our flaws. And we talk about our flaws. We don't pretend that we're this perfect thing that we're ready to go and take the world on. But everything's going in the right direction.
Right then, player ratings. De Gea. Keep them quick if you want.
5.
Really?
There wasn't much that went at him direct, I don't think. Off the top of my head, I mean, I might be wrong. If you guys have watched it,
that's not because it was bad, just because it wasn't.
Dude, he got megged.
Says it all. Valencia.
Oh, he's minting here. Love him. 7.5.
Rojo.
He was poor. The crosses was coming from his side quite a lot. I don't like him as a left back.
I thought Rojo saved Smalling on a few occasions. Smalling.
Again, I thought he was error prone. 5.5.
No way should he have got more than Rojo. I'm bringing that down to a 5. Bay.
Not his best game actually. 6. Yeah, 6.
He's in the last 2 out of 3 games. He's looked poor, which is worrying. Herrera.
Defensively, phenomenal. Defensively, I've given him a 10 out of 10. He was just in the nick of time everywhere, but going with the ball, I thought he could have done more. Now, speaking of Dave, he got the assist in it for the winner, so he did that with the ball. So I'm going to say he might have been man of the match, actually, on the grand scheme of things.
10 out of 10 for Herrera.
Probably
cheers.
An 8. Poor from Pogba, probably 5.5, 6.
He dabbed at the end as well, when we won a trophy, Rio. Marshall.
Hot and cold from Marshall, mostly cold, 6.
Mata.
Anonymous, 6.
Lingardinho.
A little bit better. I thought his energy was great, his movement was great. Obviously popped up with a crucial goal, probably a 7.
Zlatan.
Probably an 8. It's between him and Herrera.
Someone there saying 10 behind him.
He's doing the whack-a-day thing.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's not doing that. That's a Timmy Mallet thing. You might have to Google that, some of you lot.
Who came off the bench? Carrick. You know.
I didn't think it was great. 6 for Carrick. And Rashford, 5.5, 6. He didn't really have much of an impact.
We needed him at the right time, didn't we?
Yeah, like I said, it was the right decision. It was the right substitution. I think Fellaini came on in injury time, but I don't think he's doing anything, to be honest. Good or bad.
Before we go, because you haven't smiled much today after we've won a cup, so
I'm happy. Right, about an hour ago when we did get out here, I was happy, but I've got hypothermia, I think.